stuck outside. I'm stuck outside now. Have you used your intercom before?
A sec.
There we go. Jasmine Angelucci is the bargain hunter. Jasmine is a pretty cool cat. She's got the eye for fashion and style. And as the bargain hunter, she lives out her passion for styling your wardrobe and your house by shopping smart and just not spending an absolute arseload of money. And with the cost of living rising, she's definitely one to follow, and her 30,000 plus Instagram followers clearly agree. But there's another side to the bargain hunter. By day, Jasmine is a criminal defence lawyer, and she's been recognised numerous times as one of the leading criminal lawyers in the state. She's in court every day representing people charged with some of the most serious crimes that you can imagine. Now, am I a style icon? Obviously. But our bond has come mainly from a shared love of the absurd and dorky. So this episode of Cooks, it's got it all. It's got fashion, it's got courtroom drama, absurd dorkiness. It has truly got it all, much like Jasmine herself. So enjoy this episode as Jasmine Angelucci, aka the bargain hunter, cooks. Jasmine, thank you for welcoming me into your home.
Thanks for coming.
Your lovely home. And it's a Sunday morning. I kind of feel like it's kind of sacred time.
I am more than happy to do it. It is a sacred time, which is why...
There we go. That's why.
There you go, my man. A sacred meal is being prepared.
Before you crush what is inside that garlic crusher, and spoiler alert, it's garlic.
It's so strong. I put 3 cloves in there. I was trying to multitask.
What are you cooking for me today, Jasmine?
Nonna's sugo.
Oh, yes, please.
Yep.
Yes, please.
Nonna's quick sugo, though.
Okay.
Because there's 2 variations to it. There's the passata one, where you can either use like a homemade tomato passata, when you see the Italians do tomato day, or you can do the tin tomato version, which cooks up a lot quicker because you don't have to boil it for about an hour to really cook through the tomato. And that's what I'll be making you today, the tin tomato version.
Now, for the uninitiated, sugo is?
Sauce.
There we go.
Like a pasta sauce.
Right. Lovely.
And sugo can come in various examples. You can have bolognese, you can have a veggie one, you can do a seafood sauce. Like a lot of pastas just have the different, the carbonara sauce. But this is just your old school tomato.
And
pasta.
And the importance of sugo.
Yeah.
Like I feel that today we're going to learn something, and by we I mean me. Going to learn something that's kind of like should be a staple of your cooking.
It is, yeah.
Like know how to cook steak well.
Yep.
And I reckon know how to cook a sugo of some description. Would you rank it somewhere there in terms of importance?
In terms of, I guess what hangs on this is how important pasta is to you and how integral it is to your diet.
How important is pasta to you?
Look, even though Daniel and I have Italian background, I wouldn't say we eat it a great deal because we're pretty carb conscious, and we even though it is a really quick and easy meal, we probably we try to stray away from it on weeknights. We'll tend to stick to veggies or a steak or a meat or something like that. But on the weekend,
pasta to me is like water.
Yeah.
So my diet is basically water, bread, and pasta.
Yeah. Well, there you go. How's your toilet visit?
It's honestly, it's like a building site when you see the concrete mixer going on. It's like that. So nice.
Everyone's getting hungry.
Okay, and so what ingredients have we got? We've got the...
All right, so we've got garlic. That is a must. Everything's kind of a mano, as you say in Italian, so you just go by hand. I can't sit here and tell you 1 tablespoon of this, 2 cloves of garlic. It's really contingent on how many people you want to feed, what kind of flavour punch you want in it. I want to make mine extra garlicky today, so I'm putting a little bit more garlic in there. I've got some tin tomatoes, some basil. It's very basic, olive oil, and your seasonings such as like salt and pepper. And I would say there's a little secret ingredient in there called sugar. That is very important, and I think that's what gives mine a nice little kick. Just takes that acidity out of the tomato.
Now, I've been prepared actually for years, but I have been prepared. I've been worded up by a former guest on Cooks, who you might know quite well.
Right.
His name's Christian Pizzasali. I hear that you've met him before.
I've never heard of him. I'm pretty sure there's an active court order, in fact, that prohibits our contact. Right. So.
Now, he tells me, this would be Jasmine's brother, that there is one person in every generation of your family who is given the gift. Tell me more.
He's right. There is always somebody that just has the hand, the cooking touch. And so my Nonna definitely has. This is on my mum's side. So she's got it, right? And then it just like trickles down. The next person to have had it would have been, I would say, in terms of following on her traditional way of cooking, my auntie Nadia probably got a very similar touch to the way Nonna cooks. And not to sound like I'm blowing smoke here, but I think I've also got the touch. And
this is before you have chopped anything. So all I can say to you is don't fuck it up.
Yeah, no.
Don't disappoint me, all right?
Mate,
everything is on the line here today.
I'm not afraid. Bring it, is what I say.
All right, I am very excited. I'm very excited.
Okay.
You kick off and let me know what you're doing first. Jasmine is currently struggling with the garlic crusher.
Yeah, I'm just pushing. Sorry.
Now a crushed garlic.
Crushed garlic. Now this, can I say again, I'm doing the quick cheats version. My Nonna, in fact, chops up the garlic into tiny, tiny little pieces. I'm avoiding that for a few reasons. One, I don't want my fingers to smell like garlic. Two, it's time consuming. So I'm just doing it through the crusher. See that? How long did that take? 3 cloves in maybe 2 seconds.
Yeah, that was impressive.
So that's crushed. I just set that aside.
Impressive.
I'm doing my mise en place right now.
Lovely.
So thank you for bringing this beautiful basil. Oh, it smells incredible. It's perfect.
And I got it just before it went soggy.
Just before it went. It's just a bit brown. No, it's beautiful. It's
smells
actually
rotten, but it's fine.
And now again, this is a thing you go by feel. So just break off a few leaves.
Would you be? You said that you're getting your mise en place ready.
Yeah.
Is this important to prepare everything before you get that pot hot?
No.
No?
No.
Why do you do it?
I'm just doing it for you, for aesthetics.
For the photo?
I'd say get the garlic going. But I'm going to pop on the pot now. So, and can I just say as well, because it's a quick sauce, get your water heating up as well.
Smart.
All right? So at the same time that you're heating up your little pot, just fill up a little pot of water and a little bit of olive oil and salt. It stops the pasta sticking together. And the other trick here is I've got oil on the pot. Now, I'm generous with the oil.
Yeah.
If you have a look at my Nonna's sugo, look at that. So that's...
that's probably oil. Okay.
Maybe a little bit too much, actually.
Yeah, nice.
I think I just got to tip some out. When I put that sideways, I didn't realise just how much there was. Like I'm about to deep fry a bloody donut.
But it's still, that's still...
It's still a lot, yeah? Now, I'm just taking it off the heat a little bit because I don't want it to get too hot, because what I'm doing now is I'm going to put in the garlic, like that, but I don't want the garlic to get brown at all. I just want it to infuse the oil. Once the garlic starts sizzling, it's going to get ugly flavour.
Yeah.
It gets bitter. I just want it slightly infusing the flavour through the oil, which is why I just took it briefly off the heat. I just mix it around like that a little bit. All right.
And the garlic is swimming in there.
Yeah, it's pretty much swimming because there is a bit of oil going on. Okay. I went a bit oil happy. I'm not going to lie.
I think I've always underdone the oil. That's quite a few tablespoons in there.
It is, yeah.
Nice.
And can I just say, the reason why is because I just think it just brings together the tomato. It just makes it silkier. And I mean, once you dilute that down and it's still, spread across pasta as well, it's really not that much. Come on, let's get real. So I've just popped in some tomato paste now. So as you can see, again, it's just kind of swimming around in that garlic.
Oh, yeah.
That's too much oil, I think.
So this is quite a gentle little start to the cooking.
Yeah, it is. You know what this is? This is a real flavour base.
Jazzy, if you can multitask, because we didn't get off to a good start with multitasking.
No, we didn't.
But you were on Cooks in your role as the bargain hunter.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And there's so many things that I want to ask you about. But
go for
first
it.
is Your bio on your Bargain Hunter Instagram, which has like 30,000 followers, no big deal, says lawyer by day, bargain lover by night.
And then under that, living La Vida high-low. That needs to change.
So I want to ask you everything Bargain Hunter related.
Yeah.
But first off, I'm intrigued by the lawyering.
Yeah.
So what sort of lawyering do you do?
I am a criminal defence lawyer.
And this isn't the sort of job where you're sitting down in some back office pushing paper and pens. No. What does a typical day look like for you?
That's the beauty of this job. Every day is different. So I can't even tell you what a typical day is. But if I was to get the main points of each day, go to court. If your client's in custody in the cells next to the court or under the court, you go and visit them first, have a chat to them. You will do the court appearance for that client, no matter whatever it might be, just say you're pleading guilty to a charge. You run that plea hearing. If your client's not in custody, then you both are lucky enough to walk out the front door of the courtroom again, shake hands and both be on your way. So we've got people coming to us at maybe the worst point in their life, the lowest, when they're, facing a court hearing date. They've been accused of something pretty serious. They might be staring down the doorway of a jail cell, ready to go in. And so we are essentially there helping them navigate the criminal justice system. It's a big and heavy and demanding caseload. It's not for people that, if you might find that stress levels, or you might be a little bit less resilient to high stress, then it's not a job for you. Also, in terms of subject matter, it's really intense stuff we're dealing with. Yeah.
It just makes everything I do, inside and outside of work, sound just so incredibly boring.
Absolutely not. That is ridiculous to say that, because honestly, it's all relative to what you're used to as well. Like now, when I started this job, doing a drink driving plea in a magistrate's court had me like walking out with almost adrenal fatigue, because I was just so nervous about appearing in court and what would the outcome be and the impact it would have on my client's life. And I'd walk out of court just like with my heart racing and have this like adrenal high all day. Now, like I could do 5 of those appearances with my eyes closed.
And appearance is where you're getting up and standing up.
Yeah, when you're making submissions in court.
See, that's the way I feel when I come over and you cook for me and I put the lapel mic on and interview you. It's like, oh my God, okay. But you got the ingredients. I'm like, what am I going to ask her about? Like, that's my adrenaline rush.
I'm secretly, don't even get me started here with the sauce and how much I'm schwitzing over screwing this up. You give me a stern word at the beginning.
You're listening to Cooks. We'll be back with Jasmine in a moment. But for now, I want to give a really big shout out to our new Patreon members. We've got Laura, Emma, Daniel. Thank you, the 3 of you, for supporting the show. And Daniel takes the crown. Huge shout out to you for being the very first Patreon supporter of Cooks. Patreon supporters get bonus content featuring each guest. For this episode, Patreon supporters are going to hear Jasmine talking about cooking Italian food, love, the importance of cooking from scratch, and my favourite part, you're also going to hear this just most brilliant interaction between Jasmine and her husband Daniel when he chimes in with his very honest thoughts on what she cooked today. Head to patreon.com/cookspodcast for more info. That's patreon.com/cookspodcast, and there's also a link in the episode description. And a couple of Instagram accounts for you to follow. Of course, The Bargain Hunter. And also you can find Cooks on Instagram now as well. Just search for Cooks Podcast. Okay, time now to head back to Jasmine's kitchen.
Now, can you see how the oils are starting to change a bit of colour?
Oh, yeah.
I've thrown in the basil now. Again, I haven't even counted, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big leaves and a few little small ones in there. And just letting it really, really, really lightly simmer through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right.
Wow. So you were building the flavours from the very start.
Yeah, you build. You don't throw it all in together. You've got to let the heat kind of release each step of the way, like a new flavour, and let them kind of gel together. I can't think of doing it any other way, to be honest. And if you were doing other things, you could, if you're building, you could do say you want to throw prawns and seafood. All I would do is just throw that in there, cook that amongst that base, and then you've got yourself another sauce. So it's really adaptable. Like it's a recipe, or sometimes I've done like a chorizo and roast veggie type one, like those, you know, capsicum and zucchini and stuff. And you just, again, throw it in on that base and you're good.
So this sugo that you're cooking is kind of, this can be is like a cornerstone, right?
It is.
Of like, however you want to adapt it.
You can really, like a lot of Italian cooking does start with the same base, which you've probably heard already about.
Well, no, not really. See, like, Christian introduced me to the sofrito base.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise that was a thing.
Yeah.
So I was expecting the carrot, onion and celery today.
Yeah. Right.
Whereas this is blowing my mind.
Right.
That it doesn't have all that.
No, not at all.
So this would be the base that you would be expecting me to know about.
So this is a real just old school base. You just got your olive oil and your garlic, now the tomato paste is there because it's going to have to thicken up these diced tomatoes. So once you think that the oil's getting like warm enough and not like, again, I'm keeping it on the garlic, it still looks white, which is good, but the flavours have really come out there into the oil.
Oh, it smells delicious.
All right, then you just pour I've poured a couple of tinned tomatoes in there. One's diced, one's peeled. My Nonna uses the wholes, these whole ones. And what I've seen her do, which I didn't do today, was she picks up the tin and before she pours out the tomato, she gets a knife and she kind of just like swirls it around inside to chop up the tomatoes herself loosely and then she pours it in. So it kind of just opens up the tomatoes a bit.
Now, I've heard a lot of anti-diced tomato rhetoric over the years.
Rhetoric.
And I've had enough. But
Quite frankly.
Why would one choose a peeled tomato over a diced tomato in the tin?
Less liquidy, I would have thought. Yeah, I think it releases a lot more of the liquids of inside the tomato. But one of the things that, like, why I think that doesn't really matter anyway is because there's tomato paste in there, which thickens things up anyway. And secondly, in the spirit of not letting anything go to waste, being Italian, see the inside of this can?
Oh, it's filthy.
It's absolutely filthy. So I just go like that, get a bit of water in there.
Now, Jasmine has just spat into the tin.
And just consolidate like that, what you've got left in there. Because you're picking up all that goodness inside that tin.
Love it. Love it.
I tell you what, this is like a dream come true for me. It's like I've got a cooking show. I used to do this all the time.
You can come on at any time. I invite myself over and you cook for me.
Now, can you just have a look inside here for me? Look how glossy it is.
Wow. That is like, it looks like the tomato that I can see cooking here.
Yeah.
It looks like an oil-based paint. It's like so rich, really super, super like rich, dark red.
It's beautiful.
And that beautiful sheen over the top of the olive oil.
Makes you want to cry, doesn't it?
It does. Well done. We're finished here. I can't think of a harder sort of gear change in this conversation or even in your professional description than going from criminal defense lawyer to bargain hunter.
I know, it's weird, huh?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Who or what is the bargain hunter and where did this come from?
Well, it all started maybe a year into my full-time work as a criminal defence lawyer. I'd always been quite a creative person my whole life. I used to, make jewellery and, pretend to design clothes and things like that. I always had a real creative spark and element. And I started my full-time job and I was like, this is dying. Like my creative side was completely depleted and I just felt like I wasn't getting much joy anymore in that area of my brain, so to speak. And so I thought, why not just start this page? I've always been big on trying to hunt down a bargain and try to, I've always been against that philosophy of paying more than what you need to in the name of owning a label or something like that, when you can easily, if you just inform yourself a bit better, you can find yourself some really good quality things if you're savvy enough with where you shop. So seeing as I was really good at doing that, and a lot of my friends were actually coming to me and asking me like, where can I get this? And I seemed to always know when sales were going. I thought, why don't I just channel that into some kind of information sharing platform where I can spread the love, let them all know what's going on. And at that point, Instagram had just taking off. Like there weren't a huge amount of accounts with big followings, and I think people were only just starting to learn how to capitalise on how to grow a business through Instagram and things like that. But it was mainly just a photo sharing platform. When you used to use those really ugly filters, and there weren't links and stories and all that kind of stuff. And so I just thought I'm going to post things I like that are on sale, and if that inspires people, then let's do it. So it
started as fashion. Is
mainly
that right?
fashion, yeah. It did start as fashion.
And where's it gone to?
I definitely covered a lot of homewares. Mainly female-based audience as well. Kids stuff, whatever, accessories I'm finding useful for the kids, even prams and things like that. Kids' clothing, hair, makeup, a bit of product, beauty products and things like that as well. Yeah, but I'm no authority on that stuff though. So I just like to share sales. I don't like to go into too much information about this cream has a hyaluronic base. And I'm not like that. I don't profess to be either.
Now, where are we at with this sugo at the moment?
So while I was speaking to you before, I just put a little bit of salt and a little bit of sugar in there. So the sugar is there to help, I think, neutralise the acidity. I've seen various amounts of sugar put in sauces. Sometimes I see like half a cup. Other times it's like a pinch. For me, it's a teaspoon. About a teaspoon. And I just, again, go by taste.
So you're tasting as you go?
Not just yet. I'm just going to give it a little bit more time to cook through.
Are you tasting as sugo?
As sugo.
Okay, so let's have a little look-see. Oh, my God.
Look at the gloss.
Oh, my God, that is a gloss.
You know what you do? Just go like that. Give it a taste.
Oh, yum.
Nice.
Oh, that's so good.
It's garlicky.
So garlicky.
Yeah. And so what I'm going to do now is just let that simmer, and we're good there. That'll be maybe another 10 minutes, 15 minutes max, but that's good to go almost. And I'm going to put my pasta on.
And that's on quite a high heat. In fact, it's a higher heat than I was expecting, the sauce. Is that to get it to cook quicker, or is that how you usually do it?
To be honest, again, just impatient me.
Yeah.
I always use the big burner on the stove because I feel like it's getting the job done faster.
Okay.
And I don't know, it's on its lowest setting, as in like the heat, it's not on the biggest flame. But yeah, it is a lot more flame than, say, one of these small round ones.
See, this is something that I find...
That's weird. I should move it over, actually.
Hey, no.
No, because I
don't know. Hey, no. Please don't listen to me.
No. Do you want to know something?
Well, I know.
You're right, though, because this is what I do, and ask Daniel this as well. Once I feel like I've got the heavy lifting out the way on the big flame, I do move it to the smaller flame.
Is that actually true, or is she just making this up?
That is, do not, look how much it's... Look how much it's bubbling.
Daniel's shaking his head saying, nah,
look how much
she's just making it up.
I always move it to the small flame once the big flame's done its job. Anyway, he does. You know why? He's never in the kitchen.
There we go. Jazzy, as the bargain hunter, can you tell me, do you have like a philosophy or a rule or like one piece of advice that you would give to someone getting a wardrobe together, let's just say? Building a wardrobe. Yeah.
Let's
go with that.
Okay. Well, this is something I've learnt with age. God, that makes me feel old. But I think it's not worth buying those cheap little seasonal pieces. I've made that mistake far too many times. I continue to make it. I see something really cheap and I'm like, that's really in this season too. I may as well just get it and enjoy it. And 9 times out of 10, it will not see the light of day the year after. Because the quality's gone down, it's out of season, inverted commas, and therefore no longer cool to wear. And so I've realised that you've just got to build like a capsule wardrobe in a way. It's like something that's just going to stand the test of time, that's got really good quality compositions. And I know that's not achievable all the time, like particularly when you're younger. I remember going to op shops and trying to find cool outfits at op shops and things. But even through that channel, just have a look at what it's made of. If you're going to get 100% rayon, don't expect it to last through the wash.
What's rayon?
Rayon is like a very cheap, flammable fabric that you find, you probably haven't heard of Shein.
No.
They're responsible for quite a large percentage of the pollution in our world because of how they mass produce, and they use very cheap labour as well. So there's very questionable practices emerging from their sweatshops, and the quality of their clothing is pretty pitiful. And
how do you balance that? So as if you're hunting bargains and then also trying to get something that is quality and, I guess ethically sourced?
It's a really good question. It's a really good question, and it's something that I don't think anyone's mastered properly 100% without having to pay a little bit of extra money. And I think that just the way you rationalise your values behind spending that money and going, well, I'm supporting local businesses, small businesses, also knowing that it's going to last me longer as well. Because, again, I think it just takes time and maturity to realise that you're better off spending that little bit more and getting something that's going to last than not.
Has becoming a mum changed the way that you shop or you dress, the outfits you wear?
100%. It's a thing. I actually made this observation to my friend yesterday. I said, I get now why when we were younger we'd look at mums and be like, oh, mum's a daggy. But it's only something you can appreciate once you do become a mum. And it's just about practicality now. It's really about what I can get on the fastest, what I don't care about getting dirty, what I'm going to be comfortable in while I'm picking up kids, putting them down, running around. And that I don't care if it gets wrecked, sometimes we're painting or, it gets sneezed on or they wipe their nose on my top, and it's gross, but it's just what I have to factor in now with day to day.
So you're almost like reverse engineering your wardrobe, because I feel like as a parent, it's almost a matter of like, maybe pre-kids, you'd be like, as a guy, you'd be like, I really love this shirt. So I'll start with that shirt, and then I'll chuck on whatever around that. And now it's like, okay, I've got to accessorise with yogurt and snot. Yeah. So what's going to go really well with yogurt today?
White's great for that, although today I've stained it with tomato sauce. But I do find that if I wear black or a black top, that shows dirt more because I've got like either milk, like so I still bottle Jack and things like that. So I'll get like a white milk stain or a snot stain. That shows up a lot faster on black than it does on white. And we've got to get that laundry load down.
There we go.
Yeah. Sorry, you're probably wondering what I'm doing right now.
Talk me through it.
Just getting a little bit of pasta water.
Here we go.
We all know that trick though.
Well, do we? This is the thing.
We all know that trick.
I reckon there's a lot of people who don't know the trick of getting a mug full of pasta water.
Well, I use the mug because, obviously I don't burn my fingers, and I just put I don't even use that much, to be honest, but I probably use like a splash of pasta water, but you just want something starchy that you drop into the pasta once it's been strained, at the same time that you're mixing your sauce through. And I don't know why, but it just helps gel everything together.
Okay.
I can't tell you why. I'm literally just following what I've witnessed in my family be done.
So the way that Christian put it when he was cooking is he tried to justify one particular technique he was doing. And I questioned him about it. Why is that? And as he's trying to come up with a scientific explanation, he said, you just fucking do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want me to say the same thing? You just fucking do it.
This is just, look, I'm getting so hungry.
Oh,
I'm getting so hungry.
You will be. You're going to really enjoy this. The pasta's almost ready. I can see you just inching closer and closer.
It just looks incredible.
It is. It's really good.
I would love to know.
Yeah.
See, you're always like so well put together, very well dressed, very professional. Like I've seen you sort of like in lawyer mode, right? But what is the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you in a courtroom? Have you ever had anything that makes you just wake up in the middle of the night and go, I can't believe that happened?
Yes, actually, one of my very first county court appearances, I hadn't quite mastered so you have to wear the Westminster style gowns. So when you go into court, you have to wear the jabot, which is that little white collar, the vest, and then the cloak kind of thing on the top. So you look like a penguin. Yeah. And it's like a cape. Like when you walk through the street, it just like bellows behind you. It's really embarrassing. Anyway, the chair at the bar table, they had little rollers underneath so you can roll back and forward. And I just kept forgetting that the cloak was long. And so it would constantly get stuck under the wheel of my chair. And one of my first appearances, I think I lost count how many times it happened that it almost didn't become embarrassing anymore. It became like this running joke between the judge and I. So I'd go to stand up, and the first time I went to stand up, the cloak was stuck under the wheel, so much so that it flipped the chair from the ground up. So I stood up, like imagine standing up going, yes, Your Honour, like with all this enthusiasm and gusto, and the chair underneath me just goes, crack! Just literally flips to its side, and the whole courtroom just like, ooh. Like it was really embarrassing. And then each time after that, I just kept standing up and like I'd get like jolted back, like my neck was, it's like I was on a fishing line or something.
It's like being on a leash.
Yeah, it was like being on a leash and like being pulled back by this bloody cloak that kept caught under the wheel of the chair.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so that was really embarrassing. Like I remember just going, oh my God, he must think I'm so stupid that I can't even stand up.
I think there's nothing funnier than someone falling over. So that to me is like, that's peak funny.
Classic.
That is peak funny.
Slapstick. I might try strain the pasta while we're talking because
for
I
it.
think I've overdone the pasta. Let's get my scuola pasta.
What's a scuola pasta?
Scuola pasta is the Italian word for
Pasta school.
pasta school. That's right. So you just...
That is a strainer.
See all that steam?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to...
Do you keep much or any of the water as you're straining it? Or do you like to get it all out? Do you have to keep a little bit in?
I like to kind of give it a good 30 seconds.
Okay.
Enough to keep it still pretty slippery.
Okay.
So
nice.
about 30 seconds. Yeah, it still moves in there. It's not dry.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want it claggy.
Yeah.
But the key here now is I don't even know why I put a flame on to do this. You don't really have to. But I put the back on a flame. And this is all very fast moving. Put a little bit of pasta water. And then I just pour...
So you've poured the pot of the sugo into the pasta.
Into the
with a bit of
pasta.
water.
Yep.
And the flame on.
And the flame on because I don't know why, but I feel like that heat just lets it bubble through and again like thickens it up a bit more. Maybe I put a little bit too much pasta water in there as well. So just that heat again will just help evaporate the pasta water.
Now this is, in terms of technique, this is a technique that you'll never see any Anglo family do.
Really?
Which is the secondary cook. Cooking the sauce through the pasta.
It's to be honest, I wouldn't even call it like, I'm not even cooking. I'm literally just giving it a blast because I don't want that pasta to cook anymore.
Yeah.
Just giving it a little bit of a blast to thicken that sauce up with the pasta water and get it going all, having a good time together in there. But you know what? Fuck it, I say. Let's put the rest of the sauce all in there too. Let's just get it really saucy.
So I'm imagining that what's happening here is all of the sauce is getting like evenly distributed. Is that what we're doing?
Coating each spaghetti nicely, just really, even that, I feel like that last little extra blast of heat also gets the spaghetti soaking up a bit more of that sauce as well. Let's get you a bowl.
Oh, here we go.
Let's get you a fork and a bowl.
Oh, get me a fork and bowl.
You want to crack open a glass of wine as well while we're at it?
Crack open a vino.
Daniel's looking at him, he's already got the placemats out. He is ready. Now,
You're a very good assistant, Daniel.
another thing you can do if you want is put some fresh basil on the top, but that's, neither here nor there. It's not really.
All right.
And don't worry about pouring the extra sauce on the top. This one's yours, Pato.
Oh my God. And there is such a lovely amount of sauce still in there. That is not a dry pasta.
Not at all, no.
Oh, look at that. Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
Can I be really uncivilized and ask for a spoon as well?
Oh, mate.
I'm a fork and spoon.
Now, do you want some
spaghetti eater.
grana cheese as well? Do you want grana cheese?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah?
Thank you so much.
Let me get some of that. My mum always drops off a bit. Here we go. This is like the ones that my Nonna, grates.
Really?
Yeah, still smell it. It's really funky.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the grana. It's good though, but it's very strong.
So is this a grana potato? Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
but before you have that, because it's quite overpowering, I recommend trying the spaghetti first, and then you
Deal.
can add it. That's just my little tip.
Okay, here we go. Let's try this bad boy. That is so delicious.
Really? You like?
That is incredible.
I reckon it needs a little bit more sugar.
Okay.
I'm happy with it, but I can still taste acidity in there.
Really?
For me, should have put a little bit more sugar to counteract that acidity. But
And would you add anything on top in terms of condiments?
yeah, chili,
Yeah.
like a chili oil. Sometimes some like chili flakes, dry chili flakes are nice too. Otherwise, the grana padano cheese, which is here if you want to add some.
Yeah,
Just use your hands.
might put a bit of cheese on top.
And it's very strong. This is like the legit stuff from the Italian deli.
Oh yes.
I
like a good funky flavour.
Well,
a bit of funk happening there.
That will definitely take you to funky town.
Are you? Are you a? Oh, do you know what? We should crack open a little
Vino.
vino.
Let's do it. I am all for it.
Okay.
I've been eating awfully today. Look at this. First a caramel hot cross bun, now this. And wine, and it's not even 12. Oh, well.
Nailing adulthood.
YOLO.
Here we go.
Oh, this looks like a nice drop.
That's a little Pinot.
Pinot.
Cheers. Jasmine,
Cheers.
Thanks so much for joining Cooks.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for coming.
It's been so much fun. I've learnt an absolute bunch, and I'm going to go back and listen to this episode again and again and again to just nail this layering of flavour that you have done.
I hope you do. And I hope that your family enjoys this recipe.
And my children and my children's
And your
children.
children's children.
My children's
And your
children's children's children.
That's Cooks. Thanks for listening.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's disgusting wine.